Hi. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about Mr. Crocket. This is a new movie that just got added to Hulu. Okay, so I wanted to really talk about this movie because it really is short. So that's one of the biggest pluses of this movie. It's not a 2 hour movie, it's not a 3 hour movie. It's only 1 hour and 30 minutes. So you could really like watch it and go type of thing. Because sometimes at night, if I want to watch a movie, I want it to be short. You know what I mean? Watch it and go to bed, or watch it and go about your day. Sometimes you don't want to do a 2 hour movie, or you have other stuff to do. And so that's one of the big pluses of this. So Mr. Crocket takes a page out of FNAF, Poppy Playtime, all those games that are based on a children's game or something being turned scary. In this case, Mr. Crocket is a VHS tape, and it's very reminiscent of like Barney, Elmo, those games, or not games, but those TV shows back in the day that interact with kids. They'd be like, "Hi guys, do you feel happy?" Like, kind of like that. Now, to start out, I didn't have beef with Mr. Crocket at first. Like, basically, Mr. Crocket goes around taking out bad parents, basically. And I was cool with that. I said, okay, cool. We need a villain like that. There's so many villains that are just like, they don't really make sense. But now we have a villain where he's actually taking out bad people, and that's great. But then I learned that he was taking the kids. So, it kind of put a damper on that. Like, Mr. Crocket, you can't take the babies. Like, you could, take out the parents, but you snatching the kids too. I said, now I can't root for you no more. And then also, so the movie is basically starring this woman, and she's like one of those parents where she's a good parent. We see her trying, we see her working hard. She had one moment where like she snapped at her son and she said something she shouldn't have said, but I feel like that is more normal than like, hitting your kid and like crazy stuff like that. So like hers was like she got so upset and then she snapped and said something mean like, "I don't want to be your mom," or she said something like that. Now, Mr. Crocket will climb through the TV and get the kids. He has a magic marker. I think overall it's a really cool concept to lean onto that like old TV show, bad character. I know they do it a lot in video games, but we don't have a ton of it in just film. So I'm actually cool with it. I also like my penguin pajamas. They're cute. And also, it made sense that Mr. Crockett's backstory was that he himself had abusive parents and that he wanted to save children and stuff. I feel like his storyline was actually really good, and I would like to see them do a number two. Hopefully, with number two, they can expand a little bit more. I feel like this is the only downside with movies being that short, is that it's really almost not expanded too much. Bloody effects, the gore, all that. It was kind of like toned down. Not toned down completely, but I think it was supposed to go with the whole TV character type thing. So like the chair and different things like that, they kind of looked a little bit silly. Not silly, but it didn't look that scary necessarily, or like, oh, it's actually sharp and something that could take me out. The good thing is I felt no fear because after watching the movie, because I have no children. And yeah, and I wouldn't be abusive to my kids either, so I don't have to worry about that. You only have to really be scared if you're a parent and a bad parent. I also just wanted to clarify, I know you don't have to be a bad parent because the main character, the mom, she was not a bad parent. But I meant to say like either you have to be a parent or a bad parent, like either one. And you could obviously meet Mr. Crocket and it would be a bad situation. So yeah. You don't have to be a bad parent, but just a parent in general who can get upset like a human. Also, the ending was definitely letting us know that they want to do a second movie. And I'm all for it. I would love them to do a second movie. And like I said, this way they can expound, maybe add to the fear factor. Kind of just let us see what's happening with him now, because Mr. Crocket, as we know, is laying somewhere split like a crossroads. And yeah. Also, you could argue that Mr. Crocket is not bad, but then he started taking the kids. Like, if he was only taking out bad parents, I wouldn't be saying this, but because he was also snatching people's children from their house, you're not that great. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, that mom, she didn't, like, make a big mistake. She didn't, like, abuse her kids. She just, like, said something out of pocket. So, I don't know. It was crazy though when her son was like, I want to stay with Mr. Crocket. I'm what? But I'm like, kids gonna be kids, so you gotta let them be kids. Also, I'm uploading a video every single day for the month of October. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.